So season 1 of Xdefiant just came out, which means the community has a ton of new content to explore. And you know, for some people, that's just another reason to hate the game, hate on the game. That's alright though. Most of those people lick orangutan elbows for a dopamine release. I'm already knowing. Anyways, man, we've got a brand new faction called GS-K. And with that, of course, comes brand new abilities that we can use in game, you know, the way Ubisoft intended. So we're going to be looking at the passive, both of the abilities, and the ultimate of the GS-K faction so that you can learn how to use it to its full potential. Alright, so starting off with the passive, we got Hard Hat. Ballistic Helmet reduces the lethality of enemy headshots. So this is basically pretty self-explanatory, right? So the multiplier for headshot damage is going to be slightly reduced. They don't give, you know, the detailed stats for the abilities, so I'm not sure like what the specifics are, but you can still be one-shotted by snipers. You know, as we know, the TAC 50 has been a one-shot to the body since the game came out. I mean, realistically, you could be shot in your left toenail by the TAC 50 and your character will react as if they just touched the fucking sun with their bare hands. So this does not save you from that, but what it does do is give you a slightly better advantage over a player that usually aims for the head if you also aiming for the head yourself, you know what I'm saying? Now on to the abilities. First up, we're gonna look at Shockwire. Drop electric barbed wire to zap and entangle foes. So basically, it's this big pile of barbed wire, right, that can take up the space of most hallways and alleyways in the game. And when the enemy tries to walk through it, their character slows down to a speed as if they're walking in a bucket of semen. So as I was editing the video, I noticed I needed some B-roll of me actually getting trapped inside of the barbed wire so that you guys can actually see how slow you really move. And during this game, I was using the Thunderbolt skin, which is a skin right here in a battle pass that you unlock at level 19. And I noticed that when I had the Thunderbolt skin equipped, as I was walking through the barbed wire, I wasn't getting shocked. Basically because this bitch is already getting electrocuted. Excuse my language, she's not a bitch. But basically she's already getting electrocuted. So when she walks into the electric barbed wire, it's not going to affect her. So shout out to the Xdefiant devs for being pretty detailed on that. So remember, there's another tip for you. If you rock this skin, you will not be affected by the electricity of the barbed wire, but you still will be slowed down. They start to get electrocuted, which means they slowly take damage over time, of course. And this damage ain't gonna stop until they either get out of the barbed wire or they die. This ability has an extremely short cooldown. It's only 6 seconds. So that means you can spam the living shit out of it. I am dead ass. This is only me using the ability in this game. Look at this bullshit. So yeah, this ability would be pretty OP if it weren't for the fact that it can be destroyed using only one melee attack. So now we know what Shockwire does, and we know how to destroy it just in case somebody pulls up on us with it. But how can we make the most use out of it? So let's say you're playing on a map that was built using 75 hallways. With Shockwire, you know, you can block off different sections of the map to either stop people from going in that direction or make them, you know, more cautious as they approach, throw them off their game and stuff like that. Some people turn around and leave as if they seen P. Diddy waiting in the door frame. And keep in mind, as of right now, a few days after the update came out, most people still don't know that it can be meleeed with one punch. So use this to your advantage while you still can, you know what I'm saying? So how can we apply this to a real game situation? You know, what's a real game example? So let's say you're getting busy indoors, you cooking up, somebody notices outside and gives you a few back shots, so now you gotta retreat, you gotta run away. More than likely, they are going to chase you, right? So now this is your chance to use the ability. The better you can time placing down the wire with them meeting you at the door frame, the more effective the strategy is going to work. So basically, you want to try to get it placed down just a few seconds before they come flying around that corner, because more than likely they're gonna slide or they're gonna jump right into it, boom, Now they're stuck in cement. So boom, now you can finish them off. Another good use for this would be a game mode like Occupy, Domination. You know, modes where people have to go to a marked spot on the map to play the objective. You can dramatically slow down the efforts with a few barbed wires placed down. If the wires are right in front of the objective and they go to punch it, that gives you a huge window to punish them. You get the first few shots, now you've got the upper hand in the gunfight. So how can this thing be countered? So I've said it a few times already. You can fist it one time and it'll turn inside out. Or you can chuck up some frag grenades, some Semtexes. EMP grenades ain't gonna do nothing to it. But if you don't have frags, you don't have Sims, once again, just take a look around. Make sure some random cuck isn't stroking in the nearby alleyway and slap that thing off the map and move on. Next we have ADS. Deploy an active defense system to intercept incoming devices thrown by enemies. So basically you place this down, it's stopping frag grenades, Semtexes from going off while it's active. So basically it's the trophy system from Call of Duty, if you already know what that is, type shit. So this is a good thing to have in a game mode like Occupy. You know, you plop this thing down near the point and they try to throw grenades, the grenades just vanish. Now it's up to your gun skill to keep you on the point and not just some random grenade coming from the nosebleeds. I'm not gonna lie, I be chucking them on the Occupy location too. But anyways, you can throw it pretty far. If I had to guess, I'd say about 5 to 7 feet in the air. Once again, there's no specifics on that. But basically stick it to the back of walls, stick it on ceilings that are low enough, stick it behind cover. You know, just put it in spots that's not too obvious for the enemies to notice. Now keep in mind, you still sometimes might see the grenade icon pop up on your screen, right? But as long as you're near the defense system, you'll be good. This thing will be your best friend. Treat it right. Love the defense system. And for heaven's sake, give it the good old huck to and spit on that thing. Now know that this doesn't stop any abilities from working. You know what I'm saying? That's what the EMP grenades are for. So then if you're on the enemy team, how can you destroy it? Well, from what I've noticed, you're only able to shoot it to get rid of it. But it does make noise when you're nearby it to make you aware of its location, so you can shoot it to get rid of it. And lastly, we have our ultimate. They call it Flash Shield. Blind and bash foes with an LED studded shield, which also provides mobile cover for your sidearm. So on paper, this might sound extremely toxic. And it is.
Securing the zone. You're absolutely lethal out there, operator. Good work.
But only sometimes. Only in the right scenarios. Just like with any other ultimate, it works better or worse in different situations. So the best case scenario for this ultimate would be for the enemy team to be stacked together and facing towards you. You know, you can blind everyone that's within about 20 to maybe even 30 feet in front of you and about 2 feet to the side of you. Once again, they don't give the specifics on that, at least I haven't found them. Now some things to remember while running this ability. A, you expose parts of your body while running. And B, while standing, your toes are exposed. You don't want the wrong nigga to get a hold of those. So if you want to go crazy with this ability, you'll first need to keep your back away from the enemy, of course. Push towards an enemy, crouch, and shield your body if they start going for your toes. Once you're close enough, flash them and wipe them out. So for the counterplay for this, if you're on the enemy team, treat them like they're SpongeBob in that episode Something Smells. If you don't know what that episode is about, go watch SpongeBob. I don't know why you're here in the first place. But basically what I'm saying is don't look at them. Unless you want to give yourself cataracts, right? Just treat it like Dark Souls. Get behind their body and do the nasty deed. And that just about covers everything on the GSK faction, everything I can think of at least. I know there's going to be tips that you guys can provide down below in the comments that I missed out on. So feel free to do that if you want to. Anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you learned something useful. And I really hope this video doesn't make this game toxic. More toxic than it already is.